The week just keeps getting better. What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions here with a super quick market update. I'm not going to take too much of your guys' time because today we do have a pretty interesting day. We have Alphabet, if you guys did not know. If I'm not mistaken, the world's second largest company is set to report earnings today after the market closes. It's going to be reporting earnings alongside ARM, Qualcomm, Snapchat, Elf, again, just to name a few. If you want me to live stream Google's earnings, again, I do not have to. I respect your guys' time. I just want to make sure enough people show up. If this video gets over 1,000 likes, I'll host a free live stream here on YouTube. If not, again, I respect it. I respect your time. We don't have to host that live stream. So again, if you want me to, drop a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel so YouTube notifies you when it is that I go live. That being said, Google's actually not doing too bad. It's down 2%. Overall markets are down, right? NASDAQ markets down 1.72%. Looking at the lows that we made yesterday to the lows that we made today, we are testing a pretty significant support range right around 600 now. So this is now considered more of a pullback. It's not a full-on sell-off, right? We did hit highs. Let me double check. 643. Now this pullback, 5.76% from the previous highs. It's a nice enough pullback to get people a little spooked. I do want to remind you, and again, this is coming from someone that often wants the markets to pull back. Markets are more bullish than they are bearish long term. So remember, the reason we talk about overbought and oversold levels are because of moments like this. Our LPP team, we didn't predict this. No one can predict the future, but we did prepare for it, meaning that at overbought levels, we're less intrigued to go long because it's approaching a previous resistance range. It's like common sense. So now that market's pulled back, a handful of us were shorting the markets as they retrace. Now markets are oversold enough that I'm being a little cautious when it comes down to the shorts. That's all we talked about in today's live trading session with my LPP team is be cautious. Don't be afraid. Feel free to short if market direction and sentiment is in your favor. But you have to have experience, and if direction begins to turn against you and it begins to show signs of a support, when in doubt, never be afraid to cash out, right? We don't want to turn into those MSTR bag holders that are down 65, 70%, right? When in doubt, cash out. We need to respect that markets are more bullish than they are bearish, especially with a big Magnificent Seven company about to report earnings. Volatility is bound to present itself. It will either add fuel to the fire today with some selling pressure, because if Google or Alphabet begins to sell off, I want to remind you, it's the second largest market cap. It's $4 trillion. It doesn't matter if you're not invested in Google. If Google reports worse than expected earnings or its guidance is lower, then guess what? If that begins to drop, it will drag the rest of the market down with it. Or if it exceeds expectation, then that would be great for the market. Then maybe at that point, it can begin to recover and bring the rest of the market with it. So again, if you're a beginner and you don't want to expose yourself to greater forms of risk, keep it super simple and don't carry an open position during a major earning report. That simple. If you want to do it, again, all power to you. You can do whatever it is that you want. You're an adult. I just want to make sure that you are aware. The thing that I also want to talk about is one of the biggest movers that caught my attention is AMD. So AMD saw a 16. At one point, it was down 20%. It hit lows of 200 and it still can continue to drop. Honestly, AMD has not been performing technically the best lately. It did come from highs of 267, but it is approaching a previous support range. I want to remind you, patterns tend to repeat themselves, but they don't always have to. I would love to make just an exclusive video on AMD, breaking down the fundamentals, their financials, and to see and to really lay it all out for you guys, right? I have access to Investing Pro, which is, I know, a software that not all of you guys, are subscribed to. So if you would like me to make that video, I would be more than happy to. Just again, comment down below and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I do want to let you know I just posted it on my, I think, close friends, and I told my LPP team for my daughter's account, who's 4 years old now, and my son's account, who's 3 months. They both have investment accounts with a financial advisor. I had a conversation with him this morning, and I was like, hey, I want to buy just a few shares of AMD for them. I don't expect AMD to recover anytime soon. I don't need it to recover, literally just a few shares, right? the really cool thing about that is I'm a deal hunter. I like looking for deals in what I see to be quality companies that long term I would expect to show signs of growth. My concern with this one has to do with its PE ratio. It is relatively a little bit higher, so I didn't buy too much. I think we bought like $1,200 or like $1,800 worth of AMD. So again, an incredibly small position in comparison to their account size, but still some exposure for a potential deal. There are other companies that I added to their portfolio that recently dropped that are a little bit more of their exposure, but also more of a long-term play. Disney being one of them. Again, I want to have fun with their investment account. I do want to put it in quality companies, but also in companies that as they grow up, they could be like, hey, I own a few shares of Disney. Like, I think that's kind of a little flex in that side of things. Speculative stocks today are getting destroyed and speculative assets are getting destroyed. Oklo is down 14%. Is anyone actually surprised, right? We have BMNR down 7.7%. We have Carvana down 7.3%. We have Micron Technologies, not super speculative. I don't know why I'm saying this one, but this one's down 9%. SanDisk, I would say this one's pretty speculative, 11.8 based off of its recent performance. And then, of course, one of my personal favorites, MSTR, hitting new 52-week lows, down 6.8% today. So again, how many times do we have to repeat this? A lot of people get upset, and you guys have seen it firsthand in my YouTube videos, that I like to call out stocks that are, I believe, fundamentally overvalued. You don't have to agree with me, and all I ever do on my channel is share my opinion, but I share why. Have I been wrong in the past before? Sure. I think Tesla is a really great example of a company that fundamentally I believe is overvalued, but technically speaking is still performing pretty well. Right? I don't think it should be trading at $400 to $500. I think in comparison to its recent earnings, it would be closer to 200 or sub 200. Nonetheless, again, just my opinion. Literally every other stock that we've called out as overvalued has crashed, right? Oklo, NBIS, all of them. Like, where's the list? MSTR, the one that I did before but don't really mess with anymore is PLTR. I just found very quickly that Wall Street loves PLTR, and it did fundamentally, it was showing signs of consistent growth. It's still a different story. You can't compare PLTR's hype with MSTR's hype, right? PLTR is liked by Wall Street because fundamentally it is a rapid growing company, both revenue wise and price performance. Man, I don't respect it, but I kind of just like put it in its own box and its own place, and I just leave it alone. MSTR is fundamentally a terrible business. It's about to report earnings tomorrow, and it's set to possibly report $17 billion in unrealized losses. And that's while it's on a consistent downturn. It's already down like over 70% from previous all-time highs, and we're so close to $100 per share. We're at an average price below of MSTR holdings. Like literally, it could not be more perfect for MSTR to be reporting earnings tomorrow. And that's just what I'm very excited for is I love to see crappy companies fall apart because we've seen them be hyped up and people are like, oh man, that's so rude, Ricky. Why do you like seeing these companies? They always say, oh, why do you like seeing these American companies fail? No, I love seeing American-based businesses. I don't care where it's from. I love seeing businesses thrive that earn it, right? That are successful, that fundamentally show that they are growing. MSTR is not that, right? It's a gimmick. It's a Ponzi scheme. It takes money from its investors in MSTR. It borrows against their shareholders. It dilutes shareholders, and it uses that money at 0% interest to buy Bitcoin. Again, I'm not big into Bitcoin. I actually don't like it at all, but I believe in your right to invest in Bitcoin if that's what you see value in. But why would you ever buy MSTR instead of Bitcoin? Just buy the direct asset itself or buy an ETF that is a 1-for-1, a spot ETF. I just never understood that gimmick, but it's because that's where the hype was, right? That's what was going parabolic at the moment. And it's hard to see that when all the hype is present and the momentum is in its favor. But again, you can see now how quickly and how ugly things can get for them now that they're down 70, 75%. Now they're saying that I'm mean. I thought it was mean that you were encouraging people to buy at all-time highs, to sell a kidney and buy MSTR. Didn't make sense to me. So I'm always happy to call out the BS. That's always what I've done on my channel, from GameStop to, SMCI to, MSTR, anytime that I see anything fundamentally overbought, I'm always happy to share my opinion, and that's what I'll always do on my channel. So again, if that's something that you want to be a part of, again, I always like to shed light on downside risk because I don't think beginners take that into consideration enough. So if you want someone to always hype up stocks and always just talk about the upside, I'm not going to be your guy. But if you want someone that's a realist, that talks about downside risk, just so you are aware, then again, that's what I'm happy to be for you. And it looks like Bitcoin's about to make new lows. So excited about that. I hope to see you for Google's earnings. If so, drop a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, I go live every morning at Market Open for our live trading session. That's the second link in the description down below. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.